I'm going to be talking about who from the National Ice Hockey League is going to be part of the Premier League in the future, if we're going to have more than 7 teams in the Premier League. Right now, the situation is that the Manchester Phoenix team left and is not coming back, at least not under that name, and Guildford and MK both moved to the Elite League this season, and so that means we have 7 teams. 10 teams is what's really optimal in terms of this league, because it's 3 games at home and 3 games away between every single team over one season, and it means that you'll have to play a lot more games with a lot more people or a lot more teams if we have less and less teams in the actual league. So I personally think that the new Manchester Mayhems will come back to the Premier League. They could go to the National League, but I feel like they're going to go to the Premier League again. Definitely with their whole regeneration of, we need a new profile, we need a new picture, we need a new everything, because they're a new team. It's like a fresh start, just like how the Premier League is trying to do right now with their name change. So I do believe we only have really 2 spots needed out of these 5 different divisions inside the National Ice Hockey League. Though I believe the division that is mainly going to have anything is from South 1, because South 1 is the top part. South 2 West and South 2 East are basically the second tier of the National Ice Hockey League. I didn't actually know this, I had to research this myself. So basically, how do you explain it? The South 2 West and South 2 East are both the National Ice Hockey League, in the same relation in terms of the Premier League to the National Ice Hockey League. It's the National Ice Hockey League to the South Division West and 2 and East, if I explain that right. You know what I mean? This is why you should always have a script, but I didn't have a script. I wanted to try it without a script today. So I feel that South 1 is going to be getting the 2 teams that are really needed. Now, Milton Keynes Thunder has been rumoured that they're going to step up and be part of the Premier League next season to replace Milton Keynes Lightning. Could be possible. They are pretty low in the National Ice Hockey League. Maybe it's possible. If they really want to, they could. That's all I can really say, really. Then we got Chelmsford Chieftains. They have been part of the Premier League twice already, and they were for about 5 or 6 seasons, I believe, between them 2 ins and outs, if you call it. So basically that means that Chelmsford could become part of the Premier League again, but I believe they like being at the top of this league, and I don't think that they would want to move. But if they want to, they can. A lot of these are if they want to, they can. I believe that the Premier League will invite any of them with open arms, in my mind. Oxford City Stars, I think, is a great pretender, because they have been looking to be part of the Premier League and have said that they wanted to be part of the Premier League for a long time. They just need to deal with the car parking problems. They have a lot of fans, a lot of really a large amount of fans, and I feel like they have the capacity that's needed to be able to play in the Premier League. I just feel like they need to sort out the parking problems to make quality of the actual game better. That's the only real problem I think that they have, and I think they'll be able to sort that out once they become part of the Premier League, because it will show that the Oxford City Stars are a much more valued club, and that means the Oxford Council will want to give them the right to the parking a lot easier than normal. Then I know Bracknell Hornets would not be part of the Premier League because the Bracknell Bees are there. You can't really have the Bracknell Hornets and the Bracknell Bees in the same league because they're in the same ice rink, and they are but kind of like linked together kind of stuff. And a lot of Bracknell in the past, a lot of Bracknell Hornet players have played in the Bracknell Bees on two-way contracts. For example, one could be Harvey Hine-Pitcher. He was both a Bracknell Bee player and a Bracknell Hornet player at the same time. Whiteling Raiders, they are now closed, I believe, yes. So I don't think that would be possible at all, unfortunately. Because Whitelink did kind of had some rink problems, and then the rink was closed down, and then people didn't have enough. All of the players had to move to different teams, and the team was disbanded, so they wouldn't be able to become part of the Premier League. That's for sure. I don't really have an opinion on the Solent Devils or the Invicta team, the Invicta Dominoes, but the Invicta has been rather high in the standings, so I think that they'll be a very good competitor in terms of the Premier League if they would want to be part of the Premier League. But they are a good team against the Chelmsford team. So if Chelmsford Chieftains stay in the National Ice Hockey League, I think the Invicta team would also do the same. But so the Devils I don't really have an opinion on at all, really. All of the other leagues are like lower down leagues from the Premier League. Like there's the Chelmsford Warriors, which are affiliated with the Chelmsford Chieftains. There's the Basingstoke Buffalo, which is with the Basingstoke Bisons. There's the second Swindon Wildcats team. There's the Whitelink Buccaneers. The Slough Jets with the I've forgotten the name of the Slough team. That is, sorry about that, guys. There's the second team for the Telford Tigers, and so there's a lot of and the Sheffield Senators there also. So all of them, I think, are like lower down from the South 1 division, but of course you guys can tell me if that's true or not. I'm not really sure. I'm not used to the National Ice Hockey League as much as the Premier League. Like, out of all of the choices of you guys making, I think this one would be in the worst video in terms of because it's all opinionated. You can't really use facts and figures to determine the teams. It's all speculation. Like it's like the American National Hockey League in terms of who's the trade bait and who's going to be traded. No one actually knows this season there, so it's like that. You can't really pinpoint what could actually be possible, but we just have to wait and see. But in this discussion we could also talk about what could make things better for the Premier League. They have made a new system. They've discussed it with the teams already on there, the 7 teams, that they want to do free imports maximum. That is going to be very, very good in terms of budgets, and it means that maybe some teams will actually start developing some sort of profit from this instead of having so much cost that they actually have a loss instead. There's going to be only British goaltenders that are going to be signed. It means that the import goaltenders that are already around can stay, but any new goaltenders have to be British born. That could mean that there's going to be problems in terms of the amount of goaltenders there could be, because like there's so little compared goaltenders that could be at the Premier level, that there's going to be a lot of demand for British goaltenders, but there's not going to be as much supply. But I like, maybe King would be a good person to put. King from the London Raiders. I think that he would be a very good goaltender for the Premier League. He does get a bit boisterous and he is very verbal, but I believe it's possible that he would be a very good goaltender in the Premier League. And I would talk more about that in the video that I could do about the greatest goaltenders for this league right now, in the Premier League right now. What other things did the Premier League want to do in terms of changes? I can't really access any Facebook stuff, and therefore I can't access any news websites, because it means it will shout out my personal info, and it means that people that don't actually know me in real life could find out about me in real life. I like to keep my YouTube and my personal life separate, because there are a lot of people, there's 400 of you, that don't know me in real life, but they know me from my YouTube gaming side, and some of them definitely do want to know about my real life stuff. I know there is a lot of different fans that want to find me, but not like find me to hurt me. I meant find me to be friends with me kind of thing, but still it's like a bit, come on, you know. Let's state about what I feel the league should do to able to increase the amount of people that will want to join the Premier League. I believe personally there should be some sort of salary cap imposed. This could happen in 3 different ways. This could be a maximum salary cap for the whole entire league. This could be a salary cap in terms of how much profit was made by whatever team. So for example, if the Bracknell Bees made a £20,000 loss, it means that I'd have to spend 20,000 less on their players. Like, that's the kind of thing that could be possible. And then finally have like a salary cap based on position in the teams. So for first place you get an extra certain amount, maybe 10,000 for like winning the league. But I think the best way to do it would be the first option, just a maximum salary cap for the whole entire league, as that would help in terms of the amount of profit a team can make, the amount of challenge there are between the bottom people in the league and the top people in the league. There wouldn't be so many teams that just pay so much money to just win, and then we'll have the ones that are not financially viable compared being beaten up more by the teams that are more financially available, and the teams that have more fans and player base and everything like that. But that is the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and also vote on this week's choice of videos. There's going to be another poll on, definitely on the Facebook group that I have been posting to be able to advertise this a lot more. But that is it. Thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.